Ba-da, ba-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-dum, da-dum. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. The buck devours his prey. Spinning around and around and around. This is going to be backwards, and hopefully this will not fall out or shut off partway through. So this video is going to be a little bit messed up for me for filming wise, because I usually film it the opposite way. But here we go. Crack this can of Coke. And it's time for new set versus old set. Currently, the scores are 2 apiece as we head into round 5. Snoop and I are deadlocked, fighting tooth and nail to see which is the better set, Avatar or Zendikar Rising. I hope you guys have been enjoying this series so far. I think it's been one of the better ones we've had in a while. And I think it's going to be one of the best ones that we can... it's the best one we could have ended on. So I'm pretty happy about that. I think that if we're not going to be able to do new set versus old set again anytime in the near future, which I'm fairly certain we won't, at least we're going out on a bang. And we pulled some really neat stuff so far. Last week, Avatar made a comeback and tied things up 2-2 with a pretty impressive pack. So we will be opening this one first. But Zendikar Rising has been doing a really solid job of making the old set proud, considering that this is a 12 card pack compared to a 14 card pack. Normally, the new set actually usually has a 1 card less than the older sets, because a lot of the older sets had 15 cards. But apparently Zendikar Rising came from a set before that time period. And these packs only had 12. So Zendikar Rising is always 2 cards behind in this, which means that they have a little bit of a harder time getting out their best hits, which is why, as I say, they've had some really impressive packs so far. But who knows what's going to happen until we rip the stuff. So without further ado, I will do so. While Kaiba munches in the background. If I can rip this pack. Da-da. Alright, fine, I'm cheating. Rip the side. Da-da. We accidentally already saw the token, which looks pretty badass. Okay, I can't peek. Hopefully I don't spoil it for you guys. If there's a 4-colored or 5-colored avatar there, I don't want to know. So don't tell me. Yeah, like that, I think. Okay. Here we go. Starting off with Sandbender Storm. Ooh, that's a new one for me. 3 and a white. Destroy target creature with power 4 or greater, or Earthbend 3. That's a pretty solid card. Sorry, guys. I am getting used to the angle on this. Apologies. So Sandbender Storm. Pretty solid. And flavor text? No flavor text on this one because it takes too long to explain Earthbending. Jean-Jean's Deserters. I am going to put Sandbender Storm up there. I actually like that. I think that's a pretty solid instant for 4. Yes, Kaiba. You coming over to say hi? You coming over to say hi? I'm invading the card space. No. You just want to snuggle with Papa? Aw, thank you for kisses. I do like Jean-Jean's Deserter, but it's really not the best creature ever. I mean, when it enters, you do get a +1/+1 counter. It's actually better than the one I was thinking of. There's one that gets +1/+1 counters when allies come in, but I mean, if you're not playing an allies deck, that's not super useful. So I mean, that one's not terrible. I'll put it up there. It's not consideration. Right now, this is actually in consideration. I actually think that's not a bad hit. I'm sure there'll be better cards, but Deadly Precision, 1 black. You have to pay an additional 4 or sacrifice an artifact or creature to destroy target creature. That's a little expensive. Ooh, Iguana Parrot. Okay, well, Iguana Parrot definitely needs to be in the consideration too. Flying, Vigilance, and Prowess on a 2/2 for 2 and a blue is pretty damn solid stats line. Wandering Musicians, 3 and a red or white. Whenever a creature attacks, creatures you control get... When this creature attacks, creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. It's a decent enough one. It's a 2/5, so I mean, it's a decent stat line, but... Origin of Metal Bending, destroy an artifact or enchantment, or put a +1/+1 counter on a creature you control. It gets indestructible until end of turn. For 1 and a green, that's pretty solid too. And it's a lesson, so I do like that. Ooh, Boomy Bash. Nice art on the Boomy Bash. Really hard to freaking get this hammer angle right. I'm definitely going to reshoot. Never going to shoot from this angle again. My phone was like dying, so I tried to plug it in, and I didn't realize it was upside down until I had gotten started, and it was like, yeah, whatever. We're running with it because Kaiba's super cute. Deals damage equal to the number of lands you control to target creature, or destroy target land, creature, or non-basic land. You can choose one of those two for 3 and a red. It's a little expensive, but that first one's kind of neat. Except for the fact that it only hits a creature. If it hit a player, that'd be amazing. You thought I was a frail old man, but I'm the most powerful earthbender you'll ever see. I do love Boomy. He is probably one of my favorite side characters in the show for sure. Seismic Sense. I think this is a new one for me too. Look at the top X cards of your library where X is the number of lands you control. You may reveal a creature or a land card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Damn. Alright, Sandbender Storm, you got bumped. This is much better. Ruinous Waterbending. 1 and 2 black. As initial cost to cast this spell, you may waterbend 4. All creatures get -2/-2 until end of turn, as if this spell's additional cost was paid, however. When a creature dies this turn, you gain 1 life. Yeah, it's not terrible. It's like Sandbender Storm. It's decent, for sure. Crashing Wave. 2 blue. As additional cost to cast this spell, waterbend X. Tap up to X target creatures, then distribute 3 stun counters among the tapped creatures your opponents control. Ooh, okay, so it doesn't matter which ones you tap in this case. As long as, tap up to X target creatures, then distribute 3 stun counters among tapped creatures your opponents... Yeah, you're just basically stunning everything on the board. That's insane. Okay. Sorry, Iguana Parrot, you got bumped over here because that is a really good hit too. Vengeful Villagers. I like this episode of the show. It's really funny. Whenever this creature attacks... Oh, it's a creature. 3 and a white for 3/3. Okay. Whenever this creature attacks, choose target creature an opponent controls. Tap it, then you may sacrifice an artifact or creature. If you do, put a stun counter on the chosen creature. It's decent. I don't think I'm going to consider it in here. I think these two are insanely good so far compared to this one. So this one's going over here. There is our token, which is an ally. I'm not going to flip the other side because I might spoil the 5 color if it's a 5 color one for me. But on this side, we have a clue. Like this guy. He's going to go right here. We got a Hollow Foggy Bottom Swamp. Nice. Very nice, dude. Meteor Sword is our hollow. When this equipment enters, destroy target permanent. Equip creature gets +3/+3. It costs 3 to equip, but is 7 to put into play. I'm not going to probably play that, to be honest. That parrot might still be the better card, unless this is a really good card behind here. I'm hoping it is. Because right now, it's looking like I might not have a very solid pack to compete against Zendikar. What are you? Final card. Something good. Ooh. Agna Kella. The frozen tundra is treacherous. The landscape itself is an icy fortress. Enters tapped unless you control a basic land. Taps for blue. Pay 2 and a blue. Tap, draw a card, then discard card. That's insanely good. I mean, I'm going to say these 4 are hits, because a land normally doesn't get to compete, but a land is my best card in the pack, so I kind of have to let it compete. The Vengeful Villagers isn't terrible. The Ruinous Waterbending is decent. The Sandbordering Storm is decent. I'd put both those over the Metal Bending Sword, or the Meteor Sword, to be honest, in my opinion. But, I think that those are my best hits right there, and I don't know. I don't think I'm going to be able to win this one, guys. I think that this might be Snoop's day again. Keep going back and forth, Snoop. Back and forth. Give you guys a little bit more Kaiba time. Hey, Kaiba. You having fun? You munching away? I see you ate all your livers and didn't touch your food. Now you probably just finished your marrow bone. We just got back from like an 1.5 hour long walk. It was a very nice walk, but Daddy is very tired. But I saw that my dad was out, and I figured I better take advantage of that while I can, so... Hopefully I did not just screw up the video somehow. Is it still recording? It's still recording. Okay. So far, like I say, not terrible pack, but I mean, it's definitely not the kind of pack that I think is going to win this. So let's see. No, I could be wrong. Maybe Snoop will drop the ball. We can have a tie. Ooh, a Cat Beast token. That's a pretty good token. I do like that. 2/2. It's pretty. Arena code? Nope, no arena code, but very nice token. Very, very nice. And we have a very nice art card here. I can't remember if Zendikar Rising had his Patrick. 1 second. Let me double check. No Patrick. Okay. I do like this art. This is a very solid art card. Muckwater Pathway. I'm assuming that's one of the Pathway lands, possibly. But I'm not sure. It's very, very nice, though. We got a beautiful island to start us off. Oh. Knocked the video over in the wrong direction. Beautiful land. So far, all beautiful art. Now let's see if we get something that we actually can use. Skyclave Squid. 1 in a blue for a 3/2. I actually have like 50 copies of... No, probably 50 is a little extreme. I have probably 5 copies of this. But I have like an alternate art, which is like a full art. And it's really pretty. But I've never pulled the original art. And this is nice too. I like this one. Livia Prima is the artist, and she did a fantastic job with that. It's really cute. So it has Defender. It's a 3/2, but whenever a land enters the battlefield, this thing can attack as though it doesn't have Defender, which isn't a horrendous thing. But I mean, you get a really decent body for 1 in a blue, so I'm going to say it's alright. It's not competitive, but it's alright. See if Snoop... Ooh, land... McKindy Ox, 4 and a white for a 4/4. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, tap target creature and opponent controls. Now that is worth consideration. That could be a hit for your pack, Snoop. Apparently this is Snoop's pack for sure. Look at this. It's landfall after landfall after landfall. I've pulled a few copies of this guy before. I like him though. 4 and a black for a 5/4. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, this thing becomes indestructible until end of turn. So... if you're managing to play a deck with a decent number of lands, you can swing with a 5/4 and be certain that it's not going to die each turn, which is kind of nice. I ruined the streak. 5 and a green for a 6/5 with trample. When it enters the battlefield, return up to 2 lands you control to their owner's hands. Yeah. I mean, it is up to, so in theory you could choose 0 if you wanted to, I suppose, but... I'm not a huge fan of that one. Journey to Oblivion. 4 and a white. Cost 1 less to cast for each creature in your party. Gosh, darn it. I swear, the gods of magic are trying to force me to play party. When Journey to Oblivion enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent and opponent controls until this thing leaves the battlefield. Yeah, I don't like that kind of spell anyway, so that card's definitely not going to convince me. Although the artwork, I will say, is pretty sick. That is some pretty sick artwork, but no. Allied Assault, on the other hand. 2 and a white, up to 2 target creatures each get +X/+X until end of turn. Bloody hell! I mean, that is a better card. I will put that one up. I'm not considering it for a champion card. You're really not... See, that's the art I have for Skyclave Squid. Okay, that is just wrong. In a 12-card pack, Wizards, you gave me 2 copies of the exact same card. And this is the one that I've pulled constantly from Dollarama Draws of Destiny back in the day when I originally started the show. I do love this artwork. It's very pretty. Let me know which one you guys prefer. I think I still prefer the full art, but that one is nice too. Kabira Outrider. 3 and a white for a 3/3. When this thing enters the battlefield, target creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each creature in your party. Blah, 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 blah. Kargan War Leader. 1 red and white. Other warriors you control get +1/+1. Yeah, it's decent. Oh. Man, your pack is kind of a dud one too, Snoop. Scourge of the Skyclaves. 1 and a black with kicker 4 and a black. When you cast this spell, if it was kicked, each player loses half their life rounded up. Holy shit. Scourge of the Skyclaves' power and toughness are each equal to 20 minus the highest life total among players. I mean... Okay, so here's the thing. This card is insane if you pay the kicker, because you're going to reduce everybody's life by a massive amount. Including your own, which is kind of sad. This is kind of a really double-edged sword. I don't know if I want to play this in any deck. This is dangerous. But I mean, this was intended for back in when Magic was 20 card, or sorry, went back for, okay, blah, 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 blah. This card was intended for like Modern or Standard, where it's a 60 card format and there's only 2 people playing, and your total life is originally 20. So 20 minus, something isn't going to kill you. Whereas if you play this card and somebody's life total is 60, the highest life total among players after having everybody's life will be 30, and this thing will die instantly. So that kind of sucks. I mean, it's still definitely a hit. I'm still putting it up here. And the final card of this deck, or this pack, is Nimana Skittersneak. 3 and a black for a 3/4. So unless an opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard, this thing gets +1/+0 and has Menace. So it becomes a 4/4 with Menace. I don't know. I think I might have to call this one a tie. If you like Party, you've got a pretty solid pack. If you're interested in playing 5-color Landfall, you've got a pretty solid pack. Aside from that, this pack was not the best, aside from some beautiful artwork. This card is insanely fun to put into the right situation, but I mean, you are screwing yourself over too when you play that. Whereas over here, we just really didn't get much of anything. Like, that's a cool land for sure. The Parrot is a decent common, along with a couple other decent commons over here. The Crashing Wave is probably the best card of the day, to be honest, out of everything in here. If you Waterbend X and tap down like everything that anybody else controls, and then put stun counters on them, you have 3 turns to just swing wide at everybody. Like, that's pretty insane. Or at least close to swinging wide. I mean, people will be able to put new creatures, obviously, and stuff on their turns, but I mean, at the very least, you'll have 1 turn to swing wide. And then they're going to have a hard time recovering from that, the people who are left. So, I mean, I like this one. I think this is the hit of the day, and I think that is a good backup for the hit of the day. However, as I said at the beginning of the video, Zendikar Rising is playing with a 2-card handicap, and I don't think this pack is as dominant as it needs to be in order for it to be a win. Now, I am going to leave this up to Snoop in the comments. Snoop, let me know. If you think Avatar took this one, I will graciously take the point. But right now, I think we split the difference and it's 3-3, heading into round 6. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode of New Set versus Old Set. This little puggy over here has had a nice little walk, and now he's very tired, and he's probably going to take a little nap. And I just realized it's almost noon, so I'm probably going to have to go make lunch, which means he's probably not going to take the little nap after all that I want him to take. Anyways, thanks for watching. Much love to you all. From Kaiba and I to you, take care. Please remember that it is Kaiba's birthday in 1 week. 1 week, buddy. Next Thursday is your birthday. And, we're going to probably do something big on his birthday. I'm going to try and maybe live stream a couple times if my dad's not home. If my dad is home, I'm going to be recording stuff throughout the day and posting it. And I booked the day off of work so I can spend the whole day with him. Alright, that's all I got for you. Love you guys. Bye!